Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
And Francine is now a tropical depression as it continues to move up through the south, producing a lot of heavy rain. I'll show you what we could see here.
And 4 people journeyed into the vacuum of space in the first commercial spacewalk. We are bringing you one of their first words after they left the spacecraft.
And the home of the Carolina Hurricanes is getting a new name. What we know about the first phase of plans for the arena and the hint of the new name this morning. It is no longer going to be PNC Arena. It's going to be so strange. We'll talk about the new name coming up. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
I'm Chris Levin. Yeah, I think some people are going to be like, you want to go to PNC? Oh, wait. And then get that new name that's going on there.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing with terms of name changes we're seeing. Even with Francine, it was a hurricane. Now it's been downgraded to a tropical storm. And Elizabeth Gardner's tracking that right now. Where is it, Elizabeth?
Yeah, this downgrading has happened really quickly. It made landfall, of course, yesterday evening as a Category 2 storm. Then overnight it became a tropical storm, and now it's just a tropical depression with winds at 35 miles per hour. But of course, that naming convention is all about the winds and not about the rain. Look at the rain stretching from Oklahoma all the way to off the coast of South Carolina. So there's a lot of rain associated with this, and we are likely to see at least a little bit of it. You can see the red shaded area. That's where we have a tornado watch, and there have been a few tornado warnings along the coast of Florida over the last 2 or 3 hours. A center of circulation 30 miles south of Jackson, Mississippi, moving northeast at 12, winds at just 35 miles per hour. And you can see how it just fizzles out over the next 24 hours, just becoming a remnant low. Speaking of lows, a new low is likely to form off the coast of North and South Carolina late in the weekend or early next week. It could bring considerable amounts of rain to North Carolina. For us, several inches with the possibility of some flooding early next week and up to 40 mile per hour gusts along the coast. So we're going to be talking more about that in just a little bit. Francine, sending some clouds our way. You can see gray skies here in North Hills. Our dew point starting to creep up a little bit to 61. Our dew point at 65. You may notice an increase in our humidity today and especially during the day tomorrow. Temperatures stay mild today with highs in the low 80s. And we'll talk more about our potential for some showers over the weekend and how much rain we could see next week. Coming up, Ken.
Well, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We want to show you a situation that's happening on the south side of the Beltline this morning, or actually the south side of I-40. We're talking a disabled vehicle blocking a lane there at I-40 westbound. You can see the delays it's causing in that particular area coming in from Johnson County and Garner. Business 70 might be an alternate route. You can see it right here from this camera, I-40 and Jones Sausage Road, that center lane, that shoulder median right there blocked. But you can see traffic is still getting by, which is a good thing this morning in terms of those delays you're looking at. You're looking at a 12-minute delay on those Beltline westbound lanes. And coming in from Garner and Johnston County, you're looking at a 5-minute delay this morning. So keep that in mind as you're about to head out. Isolating the Beltline this morning, those south side of the Beltline, you see the usual morning congestion going all the way back to Rock Quarry Road. The north side of the Beltline as well, we're seeing that congestion building as well. In both cases, you're looking at a 3 to 5 minute delay in either case. So give yourself some extra time if you're getting ready to head out.
Thank you, Ken. A man was killed near Cary because an Amtrak train hit him. Police say this happened near the large Hindu temple off Chapel Hill Road around 10:45 last night. Police say the man was standing on the tracks as the train approached the station. The train was delayed for several hours before leaving the station around 4:30 this morning. It was traveling to Raleigh from Charlotte, but no one on board was injured.
And one person is out of their home after a fire that started in their kitchen. This is video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. It shows crews responding to the home on Picardy Village Place. That's near Southwest Cary Parkway at about 8 o'clock last night. The homeowner was there alone when that fire broke out. They were treated for minor smoke inhalation. Investigators say they do not know yet exactly what started that fire.
We're giving you a live look this morning in Jackson, Mississippi. That is where Tropical Storm Francine is bringing strong winds and heavy rainfall right now. Close to 400,000 customers are without power in Louisiana. People are urged to stay off the roads as dangerous flooding is being reported. Look at this video right here. See this? A driver was saved from a submerged car last night in New Orleans. The rescue was captured on live television. A reporter from our NBC affiliate in New Orleans spotted a truck going underway after it drove around barricades. He says he flagged down a nearby police officer. A Good Samaritan happened to see what was going on and then ran home to grab something to break the window. Here's the deal. He did that and pulled that driver to safety. All right, we're looking at this morning. Just stunning, this history-making moment when the crew aboard the SpaceX Dragon capsule during the Polaris Dawn mission finally sees Earth. Look at that. Goodness. The 2 hours of oxygen stores started running from SpaceX Dragon capsule at 6:12 this morning. The first passenger was able to exit the craft about 40 minutes later. Now, here was his first words as he looked down on our planet.
Back at home, we all have a lot of work to do, but from here, Earth sure looks like a perfect world.
Whew. I'm not going to lie, couldn't quite understand all those words, but still chills down the spine to see this moment. Jared Isaacman returned to the capsule, and second commercial spacewalker Sarah Gillis began her 10 minutes outside the ship. The cabin has since repressurized and expected to return this weekend.
I have the chills. That is so cool.
Right?
I love that. Amazing. All right, well, today, what we've known as PNC Arena will now have a new name and a new sign. The home of the Carolina Hurricanes will be officially renamed during a ceremony later today. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live in Raleigh. And Kelsey, the big reveal did get spoiled just a little bit.
Michelle, there's a little bit of a hashtag spoiler alert with this one. The name Lenovo Center was unintentionally revealed in a trailer for a hockey video game. And if we pan up a little bit, you'll be able to see that one of the PNC Arena signs has been removed from the building. We'll give you another look at a photo where we captured that you could see a little peek of a Lenovo sign. Crews were changing the signage yesterday outside the arena. The venue's owners are scheduled to meet this morning to make the name change official. Take a look at redevelopment plans around the arena that are already in the works. You can see the revamped arena there. Lenovo will be capitalizing on this new exposure for their brand.
This comes at a time when PNC Arena is set to undergo a $300 million renovation, as well as what could be a $1 billion redevelopment project around the arena. So the naming rights for this building are more prominent than they have been in the past.
Work on that redevelopment project shouldn't get started until the end of next year if all the plans go through. But we do know that this official name change should be happening around 9 o'clock this morning. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
3 people were hurt during a drive-by shooting in Halifax County. Authorities say this shooting happened around 6 o'clock last night. This is on Washington Avenue in Weldon. The Weldon police chief says 2 of the 3 victims were taken to the hospital, but it's unclear how they're doing. Investigators say 3 people were detained for questioning, but it's unclear what led to the shooting.
Another school threat just one day after 40 schools in North Carolina were targeted by hoax calls. Pinecrest High School was on a soft lockdown yesterday as police investigated. Officers say no actual threat was found. On Tuesday, schools across the state, including Wake and Moore counties, were targeted by hoax threats.
Covering Wake County, parents can get more information tonight on the district's plan to open new schools next year. During a virtual info session, the district will focus on Bowling Road Elementary, Rex Road Elementary, and other possible changes. The session runs from 6 to 7:30 p.m. The first draft of the plan for next school year was released last week. More info sessions will happen in the next couple of months.
And happening today, state leaders will get together to talk about vaping prevention in schools. In North Carolina, more than 12% of high school students use tobacco products and 9% use vapes. The discussion will include signs children and teens may be vaping, where to find free vaping prevention resources, and ways that schools can help prevent youth from vaping or help them quit, including alternatives to suspension. The fireside chat will stream live from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Facebook and YouTube accounts. That's happening from 6 to 7 tonight.
Your time is 8:08, and today an important inflation report will be released. The August PPI report is scheduled to be released in about 21 minutes. The producer price index measures changes in the cost of doing business for companies. This, in addition to yesterday's consumer price index report, could be key factors in next week's Federal Reserve meeting and whether we see a long-awaited rate decrease. We'll bring the results of this inflation report to you the moment we have it.
UNC Chapel Hill will test the system's emergency notification system this afternoon. Anyone on or near campus can expect to hear the sirens between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. There will be an alert tone followed by a pre-recorded audio message. The test is to ensure the equipment and notification system is working as planned, and the sirens are meant for major emergencies or an immediate safety or health threat on campus.
There are new allegations coming out against producer Sean Diddy Combs. Coming up, Claims of sexual harassment and misconduct over several years from musician Dawn Richards.
And a Tesla with a mind of its own locks a mother out while her young child was stuck inside. How she broke into the car to free her son while temperatures were over 100 degrees.
Our temperatures will be mild in the upper 70s to low 80s for the next 7 days. We're really changing gears here. We're going to see increasing clouds today, and then starting tomorrow, we have rain in the forecast every day through Wednesday. The heaviest rain comes early next week. I'll show you coming up.
Welcome back on your Thursday morning as we take a live look over Wilson. Couple clouds in the sky there. You can see the whirligigs going. It's a little breezy out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Garner, though, she is focusing on Francine, which has been downgraded to a tropical storm. That's usually what happens when it goes over land.
Exactly. So the storm has been, it made landfall around 5, 6 o'clock yesterday as a Category 2 storm, and then pretty rapidly became a tropical storm, and now just down to a tropical depression in the 8 o'clock advisory. A couple of these rain bands are really starting to form up, though, in Florida. And in those rain bands, we have seen some tornadoes. We're also looking at a lot of rain, even though the winds have really slowed down. Tropical storm, tropical depression, that is all a measure of the winds and not a measure of, the true impact of a storm, which oftentimes is the rain. So from Oklahoma all the way to Florida and South Carolina, that's where the rain stretches. And what we're seeing right now is some cloud cover. You can see the clouds stretching all the way up into North Carolina. We're going to stay dry today, but tomorrow we may get into a better chance for rain. Speaking of rain, right around New Orleans and parts of southeastern Louisiana, we saw as much as 8 inches of rain. And of course, that continues to spread northwards. We've seen almost 2 inches in Mobile, Alabama. Parts of Mississippi have already seen as much as 5 inches of rain. And you can see some of those here, almost 5 inches of rain back across parts of Louisiana, 6 inches there over in parts of Georgia already. So this is going to continue to bring a lot of heavy rain. Yesterday, it looked like we would have a boundary maybe that stayed down into South Carolina. Today, it looks like that's going to most likely lift up across our area tomorrow. So we've added a better chance for rain tomorrow. You can see some showers in the morning, tapering off later in the afternoon. Saturday morning, we'll likely have the chance of a sprinkle. Most of the rain, at least for the first half of the day, stays down closer to the coast. But during the afternoon, we might see more of that rain lifting northward. This is how much rain is still left to go. Look at this across parts of Alabama and Georgia. See these darker colored areas? That is still going to be 5 to 6 inches of rain. And of course, you can see things really lighting up in North Carolina as well. That's all going to be due to a second system that will develop off the coast, not related to Francine. In terms of tropical, it's a 30% chance that it would have tropical characteristics, but it's still going to contain a lot of tropical moisture, some breezy conditions, and definitely some heavy rain. So we watch Francine just developing into a low, but another low develops out here in the Atlantic, and that comes swinging in over the weekend. Right now, it looks like maybe Tuesday and Wednesday are the days that would bring us the heaviest rain, but this is a storm that hasn't developed yet, so the models won't have a really good handle on it until that happens, and that may happen in the next couple of days. But models are definitely showing that this one will form and produce some heavy rain. Look at that, around 5 inches in Wilmington and Asheville, and across our viewing area, anywhere from 1 to 2 to maybe 3 to 4 inches of rain. Now, Francine's rain for us over the weekend, likely to be around 1/4 of an inch or so, but watch how we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. We continue to add rainfall. So all total in those 5 days are going to put us easily, at 3 to 4 inches of rain. Tropical Depression 7 hanging out could become Gordon sometime later today, but it's just hanging out in the Atlantic. We are changing our weather pattern to gray and then rainy, and that's going to continue at least through the middle of next week, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We continue to monitor the situation with a disabled vehicle blocking a lane there on I-40 westbound. This is down around Highway 70 in terms of what we're talking about this morning. It was causing a bit of a backup just about 2 minutes ago, but you can see all clear now because that situation has basically cleared, moved off to the shoulder of the road. You can see the situation right there. The tow truck just showed up to haul that vehicle away. And you saw there that traffic is really moving. The delays we're seeing right now is really those westbound lanes of I-440. You're looking at a 13-minute delay. Not much of a problem coming in from Johnson County and Garner in terms of I-40 this morning. Isolating the Beltline, we're seeing the usual congestion building all the way back to Rock Quarry Road, all the way over to maybe Lake Wheeler Road as well. Once you get to Gorman Street, you get a little bit of a break until you get around Cary and the Jones Franklin Road area. Again, 2 to 3 minutes of a delay time. Similarly, on the north side of the Beltline, you're looking at a 3 to 5 minute delay as well.
Oh, thank you, Ken. People in Mississippi are preparing for Tropical Storm Francine. Power companies are urging people there to gather supplies in case the power goes out for days. Crews will be ready to repair damaged power lines and poles there in case power does go out. Grocery stores brought in some extra workers to help with long lines. Stores were also busy as shoppers stocked up on non-perishable foods to ride out the storm. Francine is expected to bring wind, flooding, rain, and tornado threats to parts of the state.
We are learning that inspectors warned about, quote, major deficiencies at a Virginia Boar's Head plant 2 years before that deadly listeria outbreak linked to the deli meat. The USDA documents identified issues with the plant's conditions, including rusty equipment, flaking paint, and dripping condensation. The reports date back to September 2022 and warned that poor conditions could, quote, pose an imminent threat. Previously released reports from the USDA showed 69 non-compliances between August of 2023 and last month. Those included insects, mold, and blood on the floor.
A member of Sean Diddy Combs' former girl group, Danity Kane, is accusing him of sexual abuse and misconduct. Dawn Richards appeared on the MTV reality series Making the Band in 2006. In a lawsuit filed yesterday, the singer says Combs sexually harassed her for years and even trapped her in her car. She also says she witnessed Combs abuse his former girlfriend, Cassie, and even tried to intervene. Richards is seeking a trial by jury and compensation for damages and lost wages.
Justin Timberlake is expected to enter a plea deal tomorrow in his DWI case. The singer's arrest happened over the summer in New York. The Suffolk County District Attorney says Timberlake is expected to plead guilty to a lesser charge. It's changed from his not guilty plea that he entered last month in a virtual court appearance. He will appear in court tomorrow.
One woman had a life-altering experience with rocker Jon Bon Jovi. This was a moment when she wanted to end her life. Reports say Bon Jovi was on the pedestrian bridge in Nashville, Tennessee for a project he was recording. Well, that's when he approached a woman who appeared to be getting ready to jump from the bridge. Look at this video right here. You can see Bon Jovi talking with this woman, and she comes off the ledge, even gives him a hug. Both the Nashville Fire and Police departments responded to that scene. Wow. In case you didn't know, September is Suicide Prevention Month. If you or anyone you know is having mental health challenges, thoughts of suicide, or going through a crisis, there is help for you. You can call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 988.
He was there filming a music video and the right place at the right time to save that woman's life. It's incredible. Well, a mother in California is relieved that her son is safe after he became locked inside her Tesla vehicle. Gina Silva has more about the mom's attempt to save her son during scorching heat.
I don't want this to happen to anybody else. What I went through, the experience, it was just awful.
On Monday, September 9th, a scorching hot day, Cassandra Pineda experienced the scare of her life.
It was hot. The last time I checked the monitor, it said 109 outside. So I can't even imagine how hot it was inside.
She was just all over the place, just saying, my baby, my baby, my baby. Please break the window, break the window.
Adrian Ortega and Cassandra were both charging their cars at this Tesla supercharger in the San Fernando Valley at 3:30 in the afternoon. When Cassandra stepped out to disconnect the charger, her Tesla unexpectedly locked her out with her 13-month-old boy, Liam Valenzuela, still inside.
And I started banging as hard as I could, and it wouldn't break.
The dramatic ordeal was captured by Tesla's security cameras.
He's in there, my baby, please call 911. Break the window. So it's horrifying seeing somebody screaming. It's unreal.
Cassandra and Adrian both tried to break the window. Adrian used this fishing weight.
I was grabbing it like this. With all my weight, I was doing this.
But the window was still intact.
Well, my biggest fear was opening that door and taking my son out of the car without his life. I can't imagine anybody going through that.
Luckily, we had this. I grabbed my 2 fingers.
And he began swinging. Finally, the window shattered. It took 8 minutes to get Liam out of the hot car.
He was scared. Once I opened the door, he was sweating. It looked like he had taken a shower or a bath. That's how sweaty he was.
When Cassandra called Tesla, one employee told her there had been a software update that may have caused the problem. But after a diagnostic test, she was told.
They said that nothing was wrong with the car. They couldn't give me an explanation.
It's not the first time a Tesla vehicle locks out a driver. The same thing happened to this Arizona grandmother who had just buckled in her grandchild. In that case, the battery had died.
I am terrified. I don't want to drive that Tesla. My son could have lost his life that day. And it's very scary.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. We are starting off beautiful today. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with a look around town. I mean, it's gorgeous everywhere.
Yeah, we're looking at some sunshine, trying to peek through some clouds. Those clouds moving in due to Francine. And eventually we could see some showers tomorrow. But today's going to stay dry. 65 in Durham and in Raleigh, 66 degrees in Fayetteville. You don't need your raincoat or umbrella today, but you probably need it tomorrow morning as we start to see some of those showers developing. Today's going to be a good day to exercise. Our humidity stays low today with a high of 81, but by tomorrow, the humidity increases with that chance of rain. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, we got a situation brewing at Atlantic Avenue. A couple of issues, but really the main issue is a water main break that's completely shut down Atlantic Avenue between Highwoods Boulevard and New Hope Church Road. You can see the purple here on the map. Let's take a live look at this scene, courtesy of photographer Charles Bradley. You can see crews are right there on the scene working to figure out exactly what's going on. We're hoping to have Charles' shot up, but in the next half hour, the bottom of the hour, I'll give you an update over on Fox 50. But we're going to continue to watch this to make sure it does not continue to affect your morning commute.
All right, thanks, Ken. We'll soon know the new name for PNC Arena. Yesterday, the wind blew the tarp covering the new sign to reveal Lenovo. The arena has been named PNC Arena since 2012. The Centennial Board Authority will vote on the new name at 9 o'clock this morning. And a man is dead after he was hit by an Amtrak train in Cary. Police say the man was standing on the tracks as the train approached the station. No one on board was hurt. Coming up next on Fox 50, what Durham public school teachers will learn about their new salaries later today. And next on Today, Lenny Kravitz live on the Plaza.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Francine is now a tropical depression, but spreading a lot of rain across the south. I'll show you when we could see some and how much.
And we're following two breaking news scenes out of Cary. A person recovering from smoke inhalation after a kitchen fire, and a man is dead after being hit by a train.
Plus, starting today, PNC Arena will be known under a new name. What we know about the name change and the plans for the first phase of renovations. Definitely didn't see the sign being revealed. We'll just pretend like we haven't quite seen it like this yet.
We don't know what's happening.
But hey, thanks for joining us here on WRAL News and Fox 50. I'm Chris Loving.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Check out the sky behind us here. It is so beautiful here. We're going to be nice here, but we're talking about Francine. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner has been tracking this storm for days. It's now over land.
It is, and now just a tropical depression. You know, it made landfall yesterday evening as a Category 2. So very quickly as it's moved over land, we've seen the wind speeds decrease, but we have not seen a decrease in the rainfall. Up to 8 inches down around New Orleans, at least radar indicated, and more rain to come. We're seeing mostly cloudy skies right now around North Carolina. You can see the cloud shield expanding even past that rain. It looked like most of the rain would stay south of us over the weekend, but now it looks like we may end up with a bit of a boundary that develops, and we could see some showers starting tomorrow. We'll walk through that on Futurecast coming up. Tropical depression Francine, northeast at 12 miles per hour. That's where it's headed. Winds just at 35. And of course, it will just dissipate into a remnant low as we get into this evening. But it's all about the rain and how much will fall and how much more flooding has to come across the deep south. A different system will develop off the coast of North and South Carolina late this weekend, early next week. That could bring us some very heavy rain to start next week. It could become become a tropical system too. We'll talk more about that in just a bit. Mostly cloudy here in North Hills this morning, 65 degrees, our dew point 61. So it's going to be a fairly comfortable day today, even though it's going to look gray for most of the day. We don't have rain in the forecast. We'll see highs in the low 80s. I'll show you how early some of that rain could arrive here tomorrow. Coming up, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, we're following some breaking news out of Atlantic Avenue this morning. There are a couple of issues on Atlantic Avenue, but the main issue is a water main break shutting down Atlantic Avenue between New Hope Church Road and Highwoods Boulevard. Nick Perlin is there in the WRAL breaking news tracker. So, Nick, set the scene for us and walk us through the timetable of this thing.
Well, Ken, right now you can see behind me that crews with the city of Raleigh are working to fix that water main break, and you can see large puddles of here blocking this side of traffic as cars continue to move by on the opposite side. And Ken, we're told that this work is going to continue into tomorrow morning. So this area of Atlantic Avenue will be closed. That's the southbound lane of Atlantic Avenue. It will be closed until 6:30 tomorrow morning. So again, they do have detours set up in and around the area, but we do know that the city of Raleigh is not expecting any interruptions of water services. But Ken, like I said, this is going to be here for a long while. So what's a good way for drivers to get around this if they do need to come this way?
Yeah, that's a definitely serious situation. They're coming back here into the WRAL Traffic Center. Really and truly, you can see the closure right there. Wake Forest Road or Capitol Boulevard are two alternative options in terms of just avoiding Atlantic Avenue altogether. Elsewhere, we can see the Beltline. You can see the north side of the Beltline and the south side of the Beltline. In that situation, you're looking at a 5 to 10 minute delay, depending on which direction you go. This is a situation we've been following just in the last 5 minutes as a result of a vehicle, disabled vehicle on the side of the road. And you can see it right here. The tow truck just showed up. The highway patrol is there on the scene right now, but you can see it's not affecting traffic whatsoever. So that's good news for you this morning. We'll keep monitoring that and let you know exactly what's going on here in the WRAL Traffic Center, because right now you're looking at a 10-minute delay in those westbound lanes of the Beltline, and not a problem to report in those I-40 westbound lanes coming in from Garner and Johnston County.
Thanks, Ken. Breaking news, a man is dead after being hit by an Amtrak train. Police say this happened near the large Hindu temple off Chapel Hill Road around 10:45 last night. Police say the man was standing on the tracks as that train approached the station. The train was delayed for several hours before leaving the station around 4:30 this morning. It was headed to Raleigh from Charlotte. No one on board was hurt.
Time is 8:34. One person is out of their home because of a fire that started in their kitchen. What you're seeing here on your screen is from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. This is video showing teams responding to the home on Picardy Village Place. That's near Southwest Cary Parkway, and this was around 8 o'clock last night. The homeowner was there alone when the fire happened. They were treated for minor smoke inhalation, but investigators say they don't know yet what started this fire. And we've been following this breaking news this morning. History made in space. This is the moment the team aboard the SpaceX Polaris Dawn mission took their first commercial spacewalk. The first passenger exited this Dragon capsule just before 7 o'clock this morning. Jared Isaacman returned to the capsule a few minutes later, and then the second commercial spacewalker, Sarah Gillis, then exited the ship for a few minutes as well. The cabin was since repressurized. That's important. It's expected to return this weekend. And this moment, goodness, breathtaking.
Well, this is a live look at Louisiana, where Francine has been bringing strong winds and heavy rainfall. More than 380,000 customers are without power right now across Louisiana. People are urged to stay off the roads as dangerous flooding is being reported there. A flash flood warning is issued for parts of New Orleans. There were wind gusts up to 97 miles per hour in some areas.
It is the end of an era for the home of the Carolina Hurricanes. PNC Arena in Raleigh will go by a new name starting today. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live outside the arena this morning. Kelsey, we had that spoil happen during the trailer for a game, but I guess we'll just pretend like we didn't see that, I guess.
Chris, there was definitely a hashtag spoiler alert with this one. The name Lenovo Center was unintentionally revealed in a trailer for a hockey video game. And you can even see here that a PNC Arena sign has already been removed. We'll give you a glimpse now at a photo that we captured where you can see a peek of a Lenovo sign. So crews were changing the signage yesterday outside the arena. The venue's owners are scheduled to meet this morning to make the name change official. Take a look at redevelopment plans around around the arena that are already in the works. You can see the revamped area there, a $300 million renovation project. Lenovo will be capitalizing on this new exposure for their brand.
Seen that this arena is also hosting things like Twitch video game tournaments that are being broadcast globally, and those get many views on Twitch. And so I think this is one way that the naming rights will have a global impact, an impact far beyond just Raleigh, North Carolina.
And work shouldn't begin on that redevelopment project until the end of next year, as long as plans continue to go as scheduled. And then we're expecting to have that official name change at some time within the next 30 minutes. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And tonight, the Durham Public School Board will discuss employee salaries. You'll remember protests like this over issues with pay for classified staff. That includes physical therapists, instructional assistants, and also nutritional specialists. Now these employees will hear what they could be getting paid moving forward. The agenda item for the meeting says the new salary compensation schedules for classified employees will have 30 steps, and the salary steps will be set at onboarding. For teachers, the recommended schedules have an $800 annual increase.
A bill that gives approval for private school vouchers and immigration enforcement is moving forward in our state. Governor Roy Cooper now needs to give the bill the final approval after state lawmakers passed it. He's expected to veto the measure, but the thing is, the North Carolina General Assembly has a veto-proof supermajority. This legislation puts another $463 million toward private school vouchers. The bill also requires sheriffs to work with federal immigration officials. Today, Vice President Kamala Harris will continue her battleground tour in North Carolina. She'll be in our state to kick off her New Way Forward tour. Harris is expected to hold rallies in Charlotte and Greensboro. She's slated to be in Charlotte around 3:40 this afternoon and then Greensboro at 6:50 tonight. Governor Roy Cooper will also speak at these events.
Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump is working to secure votes in a different swing state, Arizona. The Trump campaign says he'll speak at an event in Tucson that will focus on the economy and the rising costs of housing. Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, came to the area last week. Trump visited Glendale last month.
A large fire burning in California. It is expanding quickly. Why investigators are worried about the bridge fire's rapid growth.
And Taylor Swift had a record-breaking night at last night's VMAs. We'll recap some of the big moments of the night, including how Flavor Flav honored his word.
A nice look at Wake Forest this morning. A little cloudy skies as you're seeing here watching WRAL. Very verdant outside, according to Casey, our floor director. Great word of the day. We have meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, who is tracking right now Tropical Depression Francine. And where is it affecting right now?
Lots and lots of rain stretching from Oklahoma all the way here to Florida and off the coast of South Carolina. So huge rain shield here. And we're seeing some cloud cover from that system moving into North Carolina. We should have some breaks in the clouds on and off today, but we will turn cloudier and cloudier, and then those clouds are going to stick with us for quite some time. You're probably wondering what this red shaded area is. This is our tornado watch, and there have been a number of tornadoes along rain bands that are affecting the coast of Florida. That's where we've seen most of them. And as Chris said, it is now down to a tropical depression. It will just be a remnant low by later on today. Of course, that is all referencing the wind and has nothing to do with the rain and what sort of flooding issues that we may have, which may continue to be pretty high, at least over the next 24 hours. The storm is moving northeast at 12 miles per hour with winds at 35, and again, just becomes a remnant low by late this afternoon. But that's only part of the story. The other part of the story is the rain with this system and how much we could see here. Yesterday, it looked like a boundary would stay south into South Carolina. Today, it looks like that boundary may move on up into our area. So we could be dealing with some showers first thing tomorrow. Keep that in mind. And then those showers may taper off, at least in some places later in the day. We move it on ahead to Saturday morning. Lots of folks have outdoor plans. Could be a sprinkle early in the morning. Most of Saturday stays dry. During the afternoon, we might have a few more showers lifting northward. This is going to be our next real big rainmaker for us out here in the Atlantic. Late weekend, early next week, we'll see a low pressure system develop, and that could bring some very heavy rain to all of North Carolina, depending on the track inland that takes. So we're looking at a 30% chance of rain Saturday and Sunday. Right now, we're going with 50 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but you might notice those numbers jump a little bit. It's starting to look a little wetter for Tuesday and Wednesday, but this is a storm that hasn't formed yet. And once it does form, the models will give us a lot better guidance on the timeline and how much rain we may see. But just initially, as much as 5 inches in Asheville and in Wilmington, and then here in central North Carolina, we could see anywhere from an inch to 3 inches. So it could be, something we'll really have to watch for early next week. Mostly cloudy in North Hills this morning, where it is 65. Our dew point's fairly comfortable today, but we'll see more of that tropical moisture building in slowly by the end of the week and the weekend. So our humidity will start to go up. This afternoon, temperatures in the low 80s, and you can see that humidity jumps by tomorrow up to humid and stays that way well into early next week. How about college football and all the fun things you want to do this weekend? Well, Saturday at noon is probably on the drier side for the NC State game. UNC and Duke, when they kick off at 6 o'clock, there's a better chance of a few showers. Temperatures may be in the 60s. It could be fairly cool. Our afternoon highs stay pretty cool in the low 80s, maybe even upper 70s on Monday. And of course, the biggest thing in our 7-day forecast is likely to be that coastal low that will start to affect us early next week.
All right, thank you, Elizabeth. Authorities are saying that a wildfire burning in California's Angeles National Forest, it's growing quickly. It's called the Bridge Fire, and it is the largest of 3 major wildfires burning right now in California. This fire has burned more than 50,000 acres with 0% containment. Fire officials are concerned about the fire growing even further. The cause of the fire, that's still being investigated.
Firefighters are battling 2 other wildfires in California, the line fire and what's being called the airport fire. On the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see the damage the line fire caused, and firefighters are working to save people's homes. A man has been arrested on suspicion of starting that fire. It's 34-year-old Justin Wayne. And then on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see the newest wildfire in the state, the airport fire. Officials say the fire was accidentally sparked by crews working on fire prevention measures. The fire has injured at least 7 people and burned more than 23,000 acres.
A 17-year-old in Florida has been arrested after investigators say he murdered his mother. This comes almost 2 years after he shot and killed his father in Oklahoma. Deputies say Colin Griffith, right here on your screen, he called 911 Sunday night. He told them his mother fell on a knife and was bleeding from her neck. He said they got into a fight. However, neighbors told investigators they saw Griffith dragging his mother into the house by her hair. He's been charged with first-degree murder. And this isn't the first time Griffith was accused of killing a parent. In fact, he was charged with first-degree murder when he shot and killed his father on Valentine's Day last year. The charge was later dropped because investigators could not disprove a self-defense claim.
We are working to learn how many students were affected when they were exposed to pepper spray at Johnston County High School. This was the scene yesterday at Smithfield-Selma High School. The school district said several students had to be treated after a student released pepper spray inside the building. It is not clear if this was intentional or if it was an accident.
Time is 8:47. Mortgage rates have hit the lowest level since February 2023. Rates fell for the 6th week in a row. Experts suggest that mortgage demand still seems to be waiting for something bigger. Applications for a mortgage to purchase a home rose 2% for the week. However, they were 3% lower than the same week 1 year ago.
And Jeff Hogan in the WRAL Live Center. Yesterday was the Consumer Price Index. Today it's the Producer Price Index, what manufacturers pay for wholesale goods. And the news, the big headline right here, wholesale prices rose 0.2% in August. Okay, so that was right in line with expectations. It could show that inflation across the economy is improving. It measures the average price changes seen by producers and manufacturers. They have to pay the wholesale prices for everything that we need. It serves as that potential indicator for retail level inflation in the months ahead. It is the lowest rate since February of 2021.
A lot of people wanting that rate cut to happen as well. Thank you, Jeff. Parents who spend a lot of time using screens could be hindering their child's language development. That's according to a new study published yesterday. Researchers surveyed more than 400 parents of children ages 2.5 to 4 years old, and they found that parents who used screens more had children with lower aptitude in grammar and vocabulary. The data also showed that watching screens, even with academic programming, does not help children's language skills. Experts say verbal interaction with parents is one of the important ways that children learn language.
It was a star-studded evening at the MTV Video Music Awards last night. Ashley Dvorkin has more about the awards' 40th show and Taylor Swift's record-breaking night.
I've just been thinking about what happened 23 years ago, everyone who lost a loved one and everyone that we lost. And that is the most important thing about today. And everything that happens tonight falls behind that.
Taylor Swift won the first award presented at the MTV Video Music Awards, Best Collaboration with Post Malone for Fortnite, and began her speech paying tribute to the victims of 9/11, with the show taking place in New York Wednesday night.
Thank you.
Swift brought her career total to a record-breaking 30 VMAs, taking home 7 trophies, including Video of the Year for Fortnite. While thanking fans for that one, she also thanked someone she said was always cheering her on in the studio.
That one person was my boyfriend, Travis.
In her speech, she also encouraged 18-year-olds in the audience to register to vote.
This is really special.
Among other wins, Sabrina Carpenter took Song of the Year for Espresso.
Tonight we are celebrating 40 years of the VMAs.
Megan Thee Stallion hosted, performed, and recreated iconic VMA moments. LL Cool J and Public Enemy celebrated 40 years of Def Jam Records with a collaboration. Eminem kicked things off as the night's opener. Others center stage were Carpenter, this year's Best New Artist Chappell Roan, rock legend Lenny Kravitz,
Katherine Hudson, Katy Perry.
Plus, in special honors, Orlando Bloom introduced his fiancée Katy Perry as she played a medley of hits before being presented with this year's Video Vanguard Award.
Oh, that was so good. That was Ashley Dvorkin reporting. Flavor Flav is proving that he is a man of his word as well. The rapper presented Olympic gymnast Jordan Childs with a bronze clock during last night's VMAs. He promised to give her one after her bronze medal was stripped from her after a technicality. The two were presenting the award for Best Collaboration to Taylor Swift and Post Malone for Fortnite. I think that probably has a couple diamonds in it, don't you think?
And for our younger viewers, Flavor Flav was the subject of a dating show way back when. Google it.
Flavor of Love.
The CMA snub Beyonce and a classic comedy is returning to the big screen. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
16 carriages driving away. No love for Beyonce from the CMA. The singer was shut out at this year's Country Music Association Award nominations, even though 8 songs off her landmark Cowboy Carter album hit the top 10 on Billboard's country chart. Morgan Wallen leads the way with 7 nominations, including Entertainer of the Year, and I Had Some Help, his duet with another country newcomer, Post Malone, is up for Single, Song, Musical Event, and Music Video of the Year. The CMA Awards take place November 20th in Nashville.
He rode a blazing saddle, he wore a shining star.
Mel Brooks' classic Western spoof Blazing Saddles rides back into theaters for its 50th anniversary. The classic comedy screens on Sunday, September 15th and Wednesday, September 18th. Mosey on over to fathomevents.com for locations and showtimes. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Netflix has named its next leading lady in Bridgerton Season 4. Yerin Ha will play Sophie Beck, the love interest of Benedict Bridgerton. Unlike the other high society love interests before her, Sophie is a maid and meets Benedict at a ball just like Cinderella. But, Michelle, I wonder, who plays Sir Sillyfeather? I don't know the names of that show.
Neither do I. I've never seen it. I have to watch it. Renee told me to watch it. I have to watch it.
All right, here's a quick look at your winning lottery numbers, and we will get you another check on weather and traffic. That is next.